Hey guys, just a quick reminder of what we're doing with 250 websites all at once, and you can get in on the action for half of the flip value of the websites. It's called the Website Flipping Club. And now that we've automated everything, we're able to drive everything up so quickly. I'll show in the next video the mechanics of how efficiently we can move so that you can understand why you want to be part of this, because we can both make and control and also monitor websites en masse, probably better than anyone in the US. And we've got a model we've been following, and it's been leading us down this path to perfect our process to do like they do. Monkey see, monkey do. So take a look. Some guys here I discovered very quietly were just buying website domains that are expired but out of the sandbox and have some pretty good domain rating. And that means that they're going to be able to compete for some keywords that are high volume and low keyword difficulty keywords. There are lots of keywords like that. Why? Because they're not buyer keywords. They're keywords in the vicinity of buyer keywords. But here's the way to explain it. I'll explain it better later. Think of a pyramid. Okay, this is just one example I saw somebody do. Runs a business out of Australia. The guy's really wealthy. He just said, think about it this way. Pyramid of all the potential buyers you have right now, the top 3% of that pyramid is looking to buy. They're comparing you and your competitor, thinking who's got the best deal, who should I go with, or maybe both of them. Okay, that's at the top 3%. Then the next 17% down, we're talking about the top 20% really, out of 2020, right? Out of that 100%, the top 20% of them, 3% are ready to buy. The next 17% down are not there yet. They've gotten into the game and they're just researching and building their understanding of getting into whatever it is you do. So they're still adding up the information there. And then they're going to want to be buying. So what do you want to do? You want to talk to that 17% too. You don't just want to fight in the 3% arena, because that's where everyone is trying to outbid each other. That's the most expensive auctioning of the pay-per-clicks, right? That's the most difficulty of the keywords to compete for. And then even when you get there, it's hard to maintain them because your competitors keep trying to fight back. But there's 17% down here. Way bigger than 3% up there. 3 versus 17, more than 5 times over the number of people who are coming close to buying. You know what you do? You'll be the one that holds their hand through the training, and say, hey, you're looking for this? We got it right here on our website, and start teaching it to them. And then have your ads in there, your call to action in there, your top menu that people might get interested and reach up to. And, oh, these are pretty good topics here about why they should buy from you. You're closing at the bottom of the page that says, hey, if you're done, you should get our stuff, right? Click here, all that kind of thing. Browse our selection, give us a call, schedule something, whatever it is. So then there's the next 20% down. They're still considering which general direction to go. And in so doing, they're kind of exploring a lot of territory. So what you want to do is think about that top 40% above all. Then there's the next layer down who doesn't really know that they're supposed to be exploring in that arena, but they are in your industry, or they should be. They just got into it probably. So they're just embarking on their journey, but they just set up they just hung their shingle outside their door, right? So they only got started and they have a lot to learn anyway. What's that mean though? For the guys who are further along, there's 20% plus 17% plus 3% for you to go after. And the best is to focus on the 20 plus 17 the most. It's 37% versus just 3. And nurture them. And then because they're reading from you and you're demonstrating your expertise or you're answering their questions, then suggest yourself, right? That way you go around all the pay-per-click competition at the top. You go around having to show up for those keywords at the top they're going to keep fighting for every single day. You go around it all because you actually took the back door. You let everyone in the back door. They're coming in, they learn from you, and then you lead them through to your stuff just on the side, just naturally, by having it infused through your materials that you're explaining to all this 37% of the people using keywords that have high volume and low keyword difficulty. No one's thinking to do that, and yet the people who do it make a killing. because it's like having a shopping mall that's always open with people flooding through constantly. It's only going to be like 1 or 2% are interested in your stuff right now, today, while they land there and they read the article. But that 1 or 2%, how many people is that? Well, let's see. These guys get about 50,000 clicks a month. What's 1% of 50,000? 500? 2% would be 1,000. That's 500 to 1,000 interested clicks on their ads, their own personal, at the top of the 3% mark, ads that go to what they sell. Okay? That's what I'm saying. So they have a marketplace here where you can study a bunch of stuff on their website. Whoops. Study a bunch of stuff on their website, okay, about just general topics, but they got their ads in there. They got their offers in there. 1 to 2% of the people are going to click on that, but that's so much attention. What if you sell, 1 in 5, right? Well, then you're making 100 to 200 sales a month, right? With a website that no one's thinking to compete with, so it's easy for you to get up and stay up. That's what these guys are doing, getting up and staying up. Check it out. Same guys who have this website have some to all of the next ones I'm showing you, because I chased down a bunch of the IP addresses in this cluster, and they're the same sites. Isn't it weird? Think about it. The first guys show up for 38,500 keywords. Next one, 61,000 keywords. Next one, 58,000 keywords. These are low-hanging fruit keywords that go all over the place, right? And they're getting 50,000 clicks to 107,000 clicks to 56,500 clicks. It's just all over 125,000 clicks, 156,000 clicks a month, okay? 228,000 clicks a month. All right. What is this number? This is a dollar amount. That is the value, the worth of those combined clicks if you had to pay per click to get it to happen. And it is based on a very simple measurement. Take the ads at the top and then just keep extrapolating. If you were not going into organics, but if you were paying for ads and it was just nothing but ads all the way down, how much would those ads cost going all the way down? Well, depending on wherever your position is from one keyword to the next, that is what the cost would be for each keyword out of all your keywords. So by the time you add up what all of that would be costing, okay, that is what somebody would have to pay to be in all those different positions for all those different keywords, right? They've earned it organically. They don't have to pay for it. They're not paying anything by the month, except for just making sure to cover their bandwidth and hosting and domain and whatever else they have to cover. And I'll get into some details about that later. But for instance, do they rent page speed? It's expensive. We don't need to. We already built that stuff into our sites, and our sites are better than some of the best offer page speed options we've seen out there on the internet. Do they pay? There are certain things that you would normally have to pay for just to make the pages reasonable, but we don't need to because we've already built it into our templates and our process. It's built in, it's included. Okay, like Yoast. You would normally have to rent the Yoast SEO. Most of what you would get out of a Yoast package, most of everything that matters in a Yoast package, the stuff that matters, we already made work in our templates without having to rent it from Yoast. So there's no $400 a month payment to Yoast. There's no $179 a month payment or whatever it is, $176 for maximized page speed every month. None of that. It's already built into our websites. Okay, what do I want to say? There are a couple of ways to value a website. One is the one you would think of right away. And let me go to where websites get sold because we can do it too. You build up a website and you can sell them. I'm telling you right now, this right here, depending on whatever it is they're doing, they can sell it. Now, they probably don't want to sell it right now because they're really confident that they're still driving it up. You may as well get the value up. And when it finally starts to cap off and level out really, then you have a choice to either put more effort into it and get it to rise again, or go ahead and put it up for sale. So you're going to put it up for sale. What's it worth? Well, there are two ways to value that. One is You look at the amount of money it actually makes by the month, okay? Because who knows? Those guys are in business and they're selling something. See, display advertising. And so a bunch of people are clicking on it and they're making however much they are. Okay, that's the revenue actually. Here's the profit. Okay. And then they're selling the website based on, hey, it makes $7,000 a month. Pay me right now for 45 months worth of that right now. And you get to have the website. So after the next 45 months, you get to start making a profit. Now that doesn't sound like a good deal, right? Unless you're thinking, wow, there really is probably some very good play. You know what most people buy these websites do though? They go get a loan from the bank that would be something like this, right? With a payback period of however many months and so on. And what they find is this: the amount of money that they need to pay the bank, to get this paid off is less than the amount of money that they would expect to make from it. So say the loan costs them $2,000 a month, whatever. I don't know, then that would only be $90,000. So they'd have to pay longer. But they'd be making $5,000 a month in that case, So of course the loan needs to be closer to the payoff period. And this is 45, this is just for the heck of it. This website could go on for 10 years, 20 years, especially if somebody puts a little tender loving care into it. It can stay profitable, There's no reason it can't. So all these websites are done something like that. Now, we can sweeten the deal. First of all, the websites cost so much less, right, than what you would have to pay typically to cover everything you would need for a typical website like that. Like if you went through WordPress and you got the SEO Yoast and you rented the page speed and you went through like content at scale to get pages written, you need to be paying like $11 a page times, 300 pages. So like $3,300 for the pages, plus another $1,750 for the page speed, plus another, $5,000 for the SEO from Yoast, if it was that big a package, right? You'd have to pay all those numbers. 5 plus, whatever that adds up to. I'm sort of thinking fast about different things. 5 plus 1,750 plus 3,000 or 3,300, right? So like $10,000 you'd have to pay, okay, to get this to happen, plus the hosting and the domain name, right? But we're way cheaper than that because they're so much more efficient. So here's the point I want to make. We don't need to sell for 45 times over. So we don't have to pinch somebody that hard. We can make ourselves worth cheaper. Now, there are different ways to sell. One of them is here at Empire Flippers. That's if you're selling to an investor. And that's if they're like, okay, you're already making a certain amount of money and I'm going to go ahead and go for that. You're seeing it in front of your eyes, so that looks like the best deal, but it's not. There are other deals that are better, okay? One of them is this. When you're building, you choose an industry. This happens to be food and entertainment. Who could put their ads in there? Anyone who's offering food and entertainment supplies nationwide, whatever it is that would appeal to the market that's doing a search through there. It's kind of hard to say, but it's general audience. So for most people, it'd be general audience. In a case like this, because it's just food and entertainment. But what if we got into specific niches? What if we got into landscaping, home and garden, pet stuff, kid stuff, travel stuff? What if we got into horse accessories, horse supplies? What if we got into, there's so many things. And then what? Then we can put the ads in the pages like I was showing you in the last video, which is an automated thing now. And it can be to your affiliate links for those nationwide landscape suppliers, nationwide home and garden suppliers, nationwide pet suppliers, nationwide kid training and supplies, stuff for kids. All those industries, horse supplies, anything like that. If we're building within that industry where people are just in the market, they like reading stuff that has to do with landscaping, and then you've got your ads there for the pool furniture or the landscape wallpaper, like this idea, in the wall. The little things, big things, bonsai trees, the solar powered lighting that runs down in your backyard, the lights that hang in the backyard or at your balcony or whatever, gazebo, all the stuff that you could do for land, then those ads go in there. Guess what? Why not make the ads for the different things point at the same company who supplies them all. Because then you can start making your affiliate sales. Okay, that's this. Your affiliate sales, while at the same time, what are you doing? You're impressing the company with your sales, the incoming sales. See, the company's forced to pay this to you because they don't own that website. What if you build it and then you turn around and start showing it to a couple of the first you show it to that nationwide company and say, hey, do you want to buy the website instead of keep paying me? Usually the company will say, let's strike a deal. And then what, especially when it's formidable cash flow you're giving them and they can see what's selling. They would love to take it from you. And you know what they would do? They would say, you marketed some of the stuff that was a good idea and some of the stuff it really wasn't, but we know what to market better because they have their records. We're going to market these other things that have a higher profit rating and so on. So they can take your exact same website, swap out some of your ads. They don't need to pay you anymore, but they can raise the monthly net profit because they know better what to sell from their own inventory than you do or I do, right? But they'll see the promise in this. So what do I want to say? We can build the project with affiliate links to you so you get paid on affiliate stuff. And then when it comes time to flip the site, sell the site off, right? Then the wholesale of the site becomes something for a large amount of money. You can turn your virtual real estate into real real estate with a project like this. To my mind, this is safer, better, and wiser than investing in stocks and bonds. And Bitcoin for that matter. Because you just don't know how that's going. And a lot of people want to sell out, buy in, and they wind up losing, then losing, then losing. Just cause. You know, they make some gains in the middle, but then they lose it again. To my mind, you can keep fiddling with your website and making it better and better and better until it's time to sell the thing. Does that make sense? Especially with our automation tools now. And the fact that we're buying expired domains. It means we're in the game fast. When you're in the game the fastest and when you're moving the hardest on your websites and doing the most with it and Google sees it, then there is actually a reason to monitor it so well that Ahrefs updates values on the websites we monitor twice a day in some cases. Okay, so Ahrefs is paying attention to the movers and shakers and the guys who are going crazy doing that. That means Google's going to go crazy to keep up because if you keep doing good work, Google will speed up to keep up with you. And then Ahrefs' job is to keep up with that kind of speed also so that you can keep up with Google's assessment of you. Now that we use Ahrefs, we don't have to guess how to rank or where we're ranking or what we need to do next. Ahrefs just tells us, you're here. You want to get here? Do this. And then we go, oh, that's easy. We have the automation tools to do that. We have 81 now remote controlled tools to handle hundreds to thousands of websites with hundreds to thousands of pages each, tons of images and everything else, layouts and formats and everything else. 81 tools to control everything. Anything Ahrefs tells us to do, we can just do it now. Okay? It took a long time to build all this stuff up, but we're there. So, now, the final point I want to make before I kick off is what did I just demonstrate about the idea that people can buy a website not because of the money you make off of it, but because of the money they think they can make off of it or the money they would expect to make off of it. They know what ads you were using, but they know better ads to offer, right? They know their business better. So you don't need to sell it purely based on monthly net profit per se. This is cool and all, but you know what a lot of companies want to buy into if you're in their industry, like horse or landscaping, and you're offering it to people who are nationwide in that industry, right? Where anybody on those kinds of topics are potentially their market any given day of the week. You know what numbers they want to see? The numbers that compete with what they have to pay per click per month for their own traffic. They are thinking about their budget. Some of those big companies out there pay a lot by the month to get their traffic. And you know what? SpyFu lets us look that up company by company by company. We can see how much a company pays for their traffic. For instance, how much does this company pay for its traffic? Nothing. All of its traffic is organic. It's massive keywords. These are the keywords. This is the amount of monthly clicks. They're even starting to dip down a little. And that's just, you know how that's going to go up and down a little anyway. They'll do whatever they want with the site when they feel like it. And for all I know, they sold it already. It's been sold before, so it might get sold again. It's actually been sold at least 3 times. What's the point? That you can look up what the Nationwide Landscape Company, just put somebody in there and look and see, right? We can see how much they pay and how much traffic they get. And you know what? Why don't we just show them, why spend $19,000 to get 107,000 clicks if you can just own this website, buy it once, then you spend $0 to get this much traffic. That's what's happening here. This is the click value if they had to pay per click, but they don't pay per click. Okay? It's free money. It's free traffic. Okay? This would cost $33,000 for 56,500 visitors. Again, the higher the keyword ranks, okay, the higher you rank on the keyword, we assume the better the match for the clicker. Okay, if you're way down here and somebody clicks, they're less apt to be what you were after. But if you're ranking higher on the keyword and they're clicking, it's more apt to be a match. Okay, so that's how you can get a higher cost for less traffic. But again, that company that's having to pay Google all the time for this traffic, or Facebook all the time for this traffic, hates to do it. They do it because they don't know what else to do. What if we can just give them a website that replaces that cost, right? What if we can get them 125,000 visitors a month for 37,700, knocking off 37,700 that they would normally have to pay to get it? You know how many companies want that? They're dying to drop the pay-per-click and just simply get this organically. Because this is a lot of money you're spending every month if you're getting that many clicks, right? 41,000 buys a truck, a new truck. 41,000 is a huge amount of money to spend every single month, right? That 77,000, 2 months you could get a house in some places, right? And that's how much they would normally have to pay to get this. They would rather buy the website. You get the point? That's nuts, isn't it? So the other way to value the site is to point out how much they can save to get people in their audience into their website. Okay? So there you go. The point there is simple. It's we can give them a website that gives them a constant traffic flow, CTF, for their business. They're going to hold on to the website. They're not going to sell it. They're not trying to build it up and sell. They're trying to keep it and make their money. We can provide that for them. And we can do it cheaper than, 45 times over. But that's the value you can use. 45 times over what? Well, it could be this. But you know what else it could be? Could be this. Okay? And we don't need to charge 45 times over. How much would you need to charge to make a profit? 50%. Once, and even then you're way in profit, right? I mean, we haven't talked about the cost of this, but these projects are, sorry about that, there's a little gnat flying around, he's driving me nuts. These projects that we're doing are not that expensive. I'm going to break it down in a later video if you haven't seen already. But the fact of the matter is, the way we've built this flipping club up now, I just finished these tools at a level where I can control all these websites at once, which means that I can treat all of the people involved in a way that benefits everybody by literally being able to see what's rising, backlink to it, force it higher, get these numbers up, and just assign it to guys and get these sold and pay these guys out. Because it's like an investment club. You're buying in so we can build the websites, and then when it gets sold, we split the difference. You see that? That's one way to go. Another way is you buy the website for yourself, constant traffic flow. We build it up. You keep it. You're using it for your own business, and then we're not in it. We're not trying to sell it. It's your website. Okay, that's that way to go. And then a third way to go is for half off. Instead of having us do the work at all, you go get the websites yourself from where I show you, website-installer.com, and you can use the queries that we have if you buy the full year out at once on the website. And what we'll do is make it easy for you to build these things up on your own. So you'll go through our training and do your own work and get to keep your own returns. That, of course, is where the dividing line is. How many of you want to do the work? Okay, you're risking that. Well, risking. If you're going to pay half to do the work yourself, do the work yourself, or else it won't do itself. If you're going to pay double, think of it that way. You're paying half for the quality of the website, strength and templates, and GPT 3.5/4 writing ability, because you can do it all, and all the tools we have. And the other half is that we actually do all the work. You don't have to. You can go hang out in the backyard in your hammock and drink your pina colada, take in the sun, enjoy life. Run those sprinklers if it's still hot where you are. And let us do all the work. And then when we flip the website for sale, that's where you were the angel investor. And so you get a 50% cut because you invested into the project and you didn't do anything else. You waited for us to do it. Well, we're at a point now where we can do more than all of our competition at once. We can literally do more than these guys can as far as we can tell. We never met them. But from what we've seen that they do and what we know that we can do now, and we have all the inventory to do it, we're actually doing it. We're going to be building up all these websites at this lightning speed. The amount of compounded gain that can come off of this is just unrealistic. It's unbelievable. So, absolutely unreal. It's realistic. It's just unbelievable. Again, it's low-hanging fruit keywords. It's high volume, low competition. To anyone who thinks, wow, I didn't know those existed, it's like, yeah, the 3%, that's high competition. The 17%, no, low competition. They're not buyer keywords, so no one's going after them. So many keywords there. To have your ads in those pages on all that traffic pouring through so that you don't have to waste all your money all the time at the top 3% by paying per click. Isn't that a better way to go? That's what's going on. All right. Talk to you soon. I'll break into stuff in the next video. I'm trying to spoon feed this out because it's been a while since I put my last recordings out. Where we are right now is so far. I'm going to kind of walk you through some of this so you can get a visual. And yeah, I hope you really enjoy this because this is for everybody now.